everyone! A very important event in chess history took place in New York from 15th of December till 2nd of January. And for those of you who don't know which event this was, it was actually the United States Chess Championship. And this is the sixth time Bobby Fischer played the US Chess Championship, and he won the five previous times that he participated. So this is his sixth time participating, and this time he won this event with 11 points out of 11 games. So he had a perfect score in the end, and after this tournament, whenever anyone, anywhere wins a tournament with a perfect score, they just say he won the tournament with a Fischer's result, and everyone knows what they are talking about. So it was quite an annihilation of the field. Aside from Fischer, there were six other grandmasters there, three international masters and two untitled players in this tournament, and Fischer crushed them all. So this is a game from round 6 of this tournament. Of course, he won the previous 5, and it's quite a beauty. It's a 17-move miniature, and I decided not only to show you the game, but I will also have a question for you at the end of the game. The question will be, why did Black resign? Fischer's opponent in this game is Robert Henry Steinmeier, and I couldn't find a picture of him, I'm sorry, a photo of him. That's why there's a hoodie guy there instead of Robert. But I did find out that he was actually a very strong player, rated somewhere around 2450 plus, and he won the St. Louis State Championship when he was 15 years old. So definitely a strong player. 2450 plus in those days was quite a lot. So let's see this game. Fischer has the white pieces, and I actually think that Fischer didn't think for 1 second while playing this game. I actually think that Fischer actually just knew this from theory. And it's a Caro-Kann game. Probably if you're a Caro-Kann player, you might want to check this game out, as this position might actually happen on the board in one of your own games. Okay, so let's see it. Fischer goes for e4, that goes without saying. We have c6 by Robert, the Caro-Kann defense, d4, d5 now, knight to c3, d captures, knight captures, bishop to f5, and knight to g3. Attacking the bishop, pushing it back. This is the classical variation of the Caro-Kann. All is well. Bishop to g6, and we have knight to f3. Knight to f6, and only now h4. h6, making room for the bishop on h7. Bishop to d3, now bishop captures, queen captures, and we have e6. Fischer plays bishop to d2, knight b to d7, and a queenside castle by Fischer. Queen to c7, we have c4 now, and a queenside castle also by Robert. Bishop to c3, enforcing this pawn, and also preparing to bring the other rook into the game, so this will probably finish development for white. Then it'll be time to choose a plan. And here Robert gets a very interesting idea. He wants to activate all of his pieces instantly, and it seems like it's a pretty good plan, but Fischer shows why it doesn't work. Henry here plays, Robert Henry, sorry, queen to f4 check. And if you block this, you can block it of course with queen e3 or queen d2, but Fischer doesn't want to trade queens. If you play something like bishop to d2, Robert can also go back, queen c7. Now we have an awkwardly placed bishop on d2. If you play it back, he can always go queen f4 check again. But after this queen to f4 check, Fischer simply plays king to b1. We have knight to c5 now, attacking the queen. The pawn can't capture, it's pinned, the rook will grab the queen. And we have queen to c2. And this is actually a brilliant move, as Fischer knows what Robert is trying to do. If he played something like queen e3, blocking it, getting out of the way, then after queen captures, f captures, black can simply play bishop to d6. If you capture my knight, I'll capture your knight. This will be a better position for black. So after this knight to c5, Fischer calmly plays queen to c2, and here comes knight to e4. Knight c to e4. And there is a threat here of knight captures on f2 if this knight on f3 ever moves. But that's exactly what Fischer does. Fischer plays knight to e5. And here Robert has something to solve. Why is Fischer offering him the f2 pawn? Of course, if knight captured, this will fork both rooks, you will win the exchange. The only thing you have to be careful about is if Fischer plays rook to f1. Well, either rook to f1, this will pin your knight. But if this happens, you can simply capture the knight on g3, as there will no longer be a pawn on f2 to guard the g3 knight. So it seems like it's settled. Robert decides he will capture the pawn. He plays knight captures on f2, forks the rooks, and in this position Fischer played rook d to f1. And here in this position, Robert Henry Steinmeier also resigned the game. Now it's very interesting. Before in this position, you consider whether you capture the pawn, and it's pretty clear. If rook to f1, you grab the knight, all is well. If rook doesn't come to f1, then you will win the exchange, and again, all is well. But as he decided to capture it, Fischer played rook d to f1, and Robert resigned the game in this position. So this is the position I want you to really check out. I want you to enjoy it, and I want you to tell me in the comments, why did Robert resign in this position? What's the idea? Why is this position so terrible for black? So yeah, that's the game. This is round 6 of the United States Championship 1963-1964 that Fischer won with a beautiful result of 11 points out of 11 games. I do hope you enjoyed it, and for those of you who are able to solve it quickly, don't write the solution in the comments, just write solved it or hashtag solved it or anything, but give the other players also a chance to solve it on their own. So yeah, as usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching this amazing game, and I will see you soon.